Hello and welcome to my show Indus Cuisine, and I'm your chef Basim Ahund. We're back with a new episode from the heart of Pakistan. Today's recipe is very interesting and it has its roots to the Mughal Empire. Everyone knows that whenever the Mughal Empire had a celebration, they used to make biryani. Back in the day, biryani was made with goat meat or also lamb meat and also with quails. And as the empire grew and they basically came across the Iranian or the Persian culture, they came across meatballs. They infused this recipe, and in some states in Lucknow, back in the day before the partition of Pakistan, this form of biryani was made. Today's biryani will be made with chicken mince, and if you want to use beef mince, lamb mince, or if you want to use veal mince, you can also substitute that with this. But today's recipe is being made with chicken mince. Why? Because nowadays in Pakistan, when this recipe is made, because people do not have much time, because everyone's very busy in their busy lives, they choose for an option which is easily to cook and which is quicker in terms of quick cooking. So when we talk about cooking and quick things, we come across chicken nowadays. Now, as you can see, the ingredients for today's recipe are very easy. Remember one thing, people always complain that whenever we are cooking rice, the rice is at times not cooked well, or it is raw, or it gets overcooked. Remember one thing, whenever you're cooking rice, wash it 4 to 5 times first and then soak it in water. Now, as you can see, this rice is a lot, but trust me, it was just 2 cups. I've soaked this rice for 45 minutes, and what happens is that the dry rice basically absorbs the water, and when you boil it, you'll get a better texture. Apart from that, we'll be using around half a kilogram of chicken mince, and we'll be making meatballs, but not too big, around you could say 1 inch by 1.5 inches. That's all. That's how big the meatball will be. We'll be using 3 tomatoes around, and around 3 onions, some cilantro, and also some mint leaves. Apart from that, we'll be using some green chilies, ginger and garlic, some cumin seeds, salt to taste. You'll also be using some coriander powder, and you will be using some black cardamom. You'll be using cinnamon sticks, bay leaves, some yogurt, and a cup of oil. This is all you'll be needing for today's recipe. It's very easy, and how will we cook this recipe, I'll let you know. But firstly, what will I do? I need to brown the onions for today's recipe. You've seen that whenever we're making biryani, at times we just keep it light brown, but today it will be a little towards the darker brown side. Why? Because this biryani is the authentic way it was cooked back in the day. Okay, for that, what I'll do is first I'll just take a pan and I'll put the pan on heat. I'll be making gravy, remember that, but right now I just want to cook the onions. So for that, what I'll do is I'll use a bigger pan, because there are 3 onions, 3 tomatoes, and a lot of other things which will go into this. On the other hand, what I'll do is I'll also pick up a wok and I shall bring some water to heat. Why? Because you want to boil the rice. The rice will be boiled only for around 7 minutes, and you will start counting 7 minutes after the water comes to boil. So I'll pick up the jug, I'll transfer the water over here, and we'll bring it to boil. If you're cooking open air, or even if you're cooking indoors, remember, if you keep a lid on top, the water will come to boil quicker as compared to without a lid. Why? Because over here the heat will be encapsulated and it will get a quicker chance to boil. Okay, now what I'll do is I shall just pick up onions and we shall finally slice these. For this recipe, we'll be slicing them, not chopping them. Why? Because I want the onion to be nicely brown, and I want the onion to give a nice masala. Now, when I say masala, what does masala basically means? It means the you could say the thicker form of gravy. Masala is an Urdu word, and that's why there's no word you could say for this in the English language. I'll take the root and I'll keep it on the side. As you can see, I'm slicing the onions, but not too thin. Why? Because for this recipe, the onions need to be a little thick, not too thin. Why? Because eventually they will go in the rice, and when you're using it with rice, and especially for biryani, what happens is you want the texture to be maintained nicely. Okay, the pan has come to heat. What I'll do is I'll bring the flame to completely low. Why? Because I do not want to overheat it. I've taken out the root of 2 onions, and so for that I won't be wasting the root, or basically throwing the root. And apart from that, as you can see, this onion has the root off, so we'll just go in directly. I have been telling you all these tips. Why? Because if I tell you properly, then only you will know what to do and how to do it easily, conveniently and quickly. Okay, this is done. Now what I'll do is I'll take some oil and I shall transfer it to the pan. Once the oil comes to heat, which it shall within 30 to 40 seconds. Why? Because the pan is piping hot. Then we shall add the onions. Okay, the onions need to be browned first, and this recipe will be cooked in a little different way compared to others. Okay, so now the pan is almost hot, so what I'll do is I'll just pick up the onions and I'll transfer them over here. Once the onions are in the pan, what I'll do is I'll take half a teaspoon of salt and I shall just add it to the onions and let them cook on high heat. I want the onions to cook till they are light brown, and then once they're light brown, I'll give them 30 more seconds for them to get a little darker, but then I'll take them off very quickly. Why? Because it takes only a few seconds for the color to change completely. I'll just mix them up. Now what will happen is the oil will basically start letting the onions apart. They won't stick together. We shall just beat them down once like this and give this a lid. Okay, the lid is over here. On the other hand, the water has come to boil completely. I'll put the rice over here, but remember one thing: whenever you're adding some rice for the biryani, you will take a piece of black cardamom, a piece of bay leaf, and then I shall transfer all the rice over here. Reduce the heat a bit so that you don't burn yourself. It's a little windy today in Islamabad. And transfer all of this over here. Okay, we shall transfer all the rice and try not wasting any. This goes in. I shall just keep this at the back. And now we shall just pick up a little bit of salt and season the water. The water must be seasoned nicely and fairly, remember that. So I'll add half a teaspoon over here and then we shall mix it up. Pick up a ladle, just mix it nicely. And shake it. Keep a lid on top and let this cook. So till time this is cooking, what we'll do is we shall also get ready with some ginger. I just need a little bit of ginger for now, and the remaining I shall use later on. So what I'll do is, for this I shall just slice it a bit after I make these thin planks, you could say. This is done over here. Now just go in smoothly and quickly. This is done, and then just a little more. Remember, try keeping all the slices equal so that they cook equally, and also so that they give a nice flavor. Now the remaining shall be added later on, not right now. This is done. What I'll do is I'll take the lid off. As you can see, the onion is going on well. I'll transfer the ginger over here so that it gets a nice flavor. I'll just pick up a piece of cloth. I'll just hold it over here and I shall just mix it now. This is done. Pick up this and let it cook. So now what do you need to do? Till time it's cooking, what we'll do is we shall start making the meatballs, because that will take a little bit of time. So I'll reduce the heat over here. I'll keep this over here on the side, and we shall just pick up some meatballs and keep it over here. I need some oil. I'll bring it from the back and then I'll show you how to make the meatballs for this recipe. So now, as you can see, the oil is over here. Now we have to make the meatballs. For that, I shall just take the cling wrap off the chicken mince. I'll keep this over here. Now remember, I'm not adding anything else over here apart from just a few things. Now what will go into this? We shall add just a few cumin seeds, around half a teaspoon. We'll add a little bit of coriander powder. We'll add a little bit of red chili powder, spread out. And then we'll add around half a teaspoon of salt. Season it properly. Now you need some garlic, so what I'll do is I'll pick around 2 pieces of garlic and we shall finely shred them. Slowly and gradually shred them on the mesh. and throw the remaining on the side. Over here, as you can see, the rice is almost coming back to boil. The reason behind the rice not coming back to boil quickly is because obviously I kept the stove low, and also on the other hand that the rice was in cold water. When you add rice which is a little cold to boiling hot water, it usually goes down. Okay, now this is done. Just shake it up, pick this up and keep it at the back and transfer all of this into the mince. Now what I'll do is I shall just grease my hands first with some oil, but when I say grease it properly. Why? Because now after greasing your hands, the mince will not stick to it. I shall just mix it in this only in front of you and just keep spinning it. I'm not adding anything else. The only thing I'm adding over here is some garlic, some red chili powder, some coriander powder and some red chili powder. That is it. Why? Because we will be putting all of this into the gravy, which will give a very nice authentic flavor. Keep mixing it properly and this is done. Now what I'll do is I'll make some meatballs. For that I need a plate. I'll pick this one up. I'll keep it over here on the side. Grease your hands again. This oil will not be used again. Why? Because I'm putting my hands which were basically used for raw chicken, raw meat, so we will avoid cross-contamination. Just bring them together like this. As you can see, I'm just pressing it together, doing nothing else. And remember to toss it around. When you toss it around, what happens is it binds. If you just keep pressing it, you won't get the perfect texture. So till then I'm making these meatballs. We'll go for a short break and once we're back, I'll tell you what to do next. Keep watching Indus Cuisine. Welcome back. You're watching Indus Cuisine and I'm your chef Basim Akhund. During the break I just waited for you and I did three things. The first thing was the meatballs were done. I basically made all of them. On the other hand, I took the onion out. Now you might be thinking, why did he fry the onion and take it out? For biryani, the authentic way of doing it is by taking the onions out and then dressing it again on the rice. The rice is also ready. As you can see, the rice is perfectly done. It has just a little bit of cooking left, around 20%, which will be done when we add all the masala to it. Remember, biryani rice is always made 80% when you're boiling and keep the 20% on the side. Now what I'll do is I shall just get ready with the paste. So what do you need? You need around 3 tomatoes. I'll keep it over here and we shall just finely slice them. Take the eye of the tomato out over here, keep it on the side and then finely chop it. I'll just throw this in the bin over here and we shall just slice the tomatoes, not roughly you could say, but you could say not too thin. Why? Because we just want to convert it into a paste. That is about it. So I shall just cut the tomatoes in a few pieces just like this in front of you and then we shall add it to the pan on high heat. Once the tomatoes start breaking down and they convert into a nice paste, what we shall do is we shall then add some spices to it. This will just take a few moments. Why? Because the oil is super hot and when you add tomato to super hot oil, what happens is it starts frying and it starts breaking down. So I shall just pick up the tomato in front of you like this and we shall just start transferring it over here. This is done. Now we should just pick up this and start mixing it up. Let the tomatoes cook. Just add a little bit of salt. I would say around just a 1/4 teaspoon, that's about it. This will bring the moisture of the tomato out, remember that, and give this a lid. We should give it a lid and let it cook till the time the tomatoes get super soft, which will not take too much of time. Okay, we'll keep this on the side. Now what I'll do is we need some green chilies, so I'll just pick up 3 of these. Now these are basically a little bigger, so we will be using 3. If you use the smaller ones, you will be using around 9 of them. The bigger the green chili, remember one more thing, the less spicier it is and the more fragrance you shall get of the chili more. So I am just chopping the chilies in front of you, not too thin, not too thick. When the chilies will be cooked, they shall also start breaking down, and this is the time you shall get the perfect flavor. I'll pick up the stems and I shall throw them in the dustbin because I do not need them anymore. Okay, this is done. Pick up the lid and just mix it a bit so that tomatoes keep frying. So I'm basically frying the tomatoes in the oil over here. Now what I'll do is I'll add the green chilies to the oil so that it gives a very, very nice flavor. Give it a lid, reduce the heat just a little bit and let the tomatoes cook. Now we shall finally shred the ginger. I'll pick it up over here. If you do not have fresh ginger, you can also use the commercial ginger paste, but remember one thing, that will not give you a good flavor. So if you have fresh ginger, use fresh ginger, but you can also use bottled ginger. But let me tell you one thing, that the fresh ginger basically tastes twice as better as the bottled one. Why? Because this has like that proper fragrance that you require. Now when this is done, I shall just push it on the side and then pick it up slowly. We'll transfer all of this into the tomatoes. As you can see over here, there is some juice. This is all the ginger juice which I shall not waste, and add it over here. This has all the flavor. It's pretty strong. It tastes really, really nice also. Okay, we'll pick up around 4 pieces of garlic over here and I shall keep them, and we shall now chop these. Now you have to finely chop the garlic, not shred them. So what I'll do is I shall just first press them like this, and we shall start chopping them. By pressing them down, what happens is basically you get a finer cut and you can chop it even more smoother. This is done. Push it on the side. And now transfer all of this into this. The tomatoes smell beautiful. Now what I'll do is I shall just start pressing the tomatoes down. The smaller or the thinner ones will start breaking quickly. The other ones will take a little bit of time, but this is part of cooking. So now what I'll do is I'll mix it up in the oil over here. So start mixing it up so that the ginger also starts frying evenly. This is done. Keep it on the side. Slice it up and then add it over here. Let it fry. I'm going to tilt this over here so that the tomatoes get a nice deep frying effect. Now usually, if you would have seen how people used to cook back in the day, if you read books, what happens is people used to use a lot of oil. That was the thing that was used in those days, and oil used to come from animal fat. Okay, now this is done. Now what I'll do is I shall start adding the spices. I shall add the cumin seeds, some coriander powder, some cinnamon sticks, and a little bit of red chili powder. This goes in. Whatever you've used, pick it up and keep it on the side over here, and now mix it up. So what I'll do is I shall just pick up the spatula and start mixing the spices in smoothly. Tilt it. I shall give it a lid now and let it cook for 2 minutes till the time the tomatoes get super soft. I shall clean now and then I'll let you know what to do next. So as you can see, the tomatoes are nicely cooked. Now what I shall do is we shall start cooking the meatballs. For that, what I need is I need a cup of yogurt. I have put cling wrap on so that when you're cooking outdoors, it doesn't basically get bad or something doesn't fall in. Now I shall just add a cup of water and then I shall add the meatballs in it. After adding a cup of water, what I'll do is I shall add the meatballs. Now you might be thinking, why didn't I cook the meatballs in the oil? We're basically boiling the meatballs in the whole sauce so that it gets a nice flavor. It absorbs some flavor and it also gives out some flavor. Now I've reduced the heat. You can see the oil has come on top. I should increase it over here. After mixing it properly, I shall add just 1 bay leaf, 3 pieces of black cardamom, and that's about it. Whatever I've used goes at the back so that I can keep my station super clean. Okay, now what I'll do is I shall just pick up the meatballs and I shall place them. Reduce the heat again so that you don't harm yourself. Remember one more thing, whenever you're using chicken and chicken is very soft, please place the meatballs very smoothly, do not damage them, and just let them cook. The aroma will give a very nice flavor to the chicken also. Why? Because this is how it was made. Slowly and gradually will take you a super long way in life. This is done. Now I shall just push it in at forward, keep this at the back, and increase the heat to full. Once I increase the heat, I shall give it a lid and I shall let it cook on medium heat for 5 to 6 minutes. So till the time this is cooking, we shall just clean up again, and then I shall show you how to assemble the biryani and put it on very low heat to cook it slowly and gradually. As you can see, it's ready, the gravy basically. So what I'll do is I shall just reduce the heat to completely low, and we shall bring another wok in front. Keep the wok over here and add a little bit of clarified butter, around just, you could say, 2 tablespoons, that's about it. Increase the heat and spread the clarified butter out. You want to coat the whole pan so that the rice does not stick, remember that. So I'm just turning it around. And this is it. Keep it on the side. Now what I'll do is I shall pick up the rice and now reduce the heat completely. Transfer half of the rice on the base and now spread it out. Once you're done doing this, keep the remaining on the side and now add all the meatballs over here. What I'll do first is I shall pick the meatballs. As you can see, I have not added anything, no egg yolk, no egg, or you could say no form of flour to hold it together. You just have to do it properly, that's about it. Spread it out. And then after this, add the gravy on top. Tilt it. The oil also goes in. This is all the flavor. What I'll do is I shall just coat the meatballs with this, and eventually all of this will flow at the base. And this is done. Remaining goes on the top, and just let it sit like this. Now what I'll do is I'll pick the raw onions up, sorry, the partially cooked onions up, spread them on top, and keep this on the side. Once everything is done, you pick up the remaining rice and start coating it like this. Don't press it too much. And this is done. Now just with your hands, slowly and gradually spread it, and you're done. Now I'll clean up and I'll tell you what to do in the end. The only thing that is left is some mint leaves that go on the top in the end, and some coriander leaves. When this is done, once you've added all the greens, place the lid on top, increase the heat to full for 1 minute, and once that is done, reduce the heat to low and let it cook for 5 minutes. This recipe is almost done. Now I shall show you the final look of this beautiful recipe. As you can see, today's recipe is ready. I hope you liked today's episode. I'll see you in another episode of India's Cuisine. Take care of yourself, lovely people. Have a good day. Bye-bye.